Hello there, how are you? Learin Haddock here with another edition of Worth the Buy here on Bearded Budget Media. Now, this week we're looking at an underrated gem from the noughties. Often referred to as a musical comedy, it's more of an amazing spoof biopic. Biopic? Whatever. Biopic, yeah. So let's tune up the guitar, have a musical epiphany, and let's walk hard.
You don't have to give him a moment, son. Dewey Cox needs to think about his entire life before he plays.
Just want to say thanks for everyone watching recently, and most people who watch me aren't subscribers, so by all means, click on that little subscribe button, click the little thumbs up. It really means a lot to me. Well, I'm going to jump straight into this one. Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox Story, follows the life and achievements of one Dewey Cox, from early childhood and the trauma involved, to being one of the biggest stars in the world, and the trauma involved, along with your biopic tropes of family death.
This was a particularly bad case of somebody being cut in half.
Daddy issues.
Like what? Like the wrong kid died?
Oh, no!
A disability.
I think I lost my sense of smell.
You gone smell blind, son.
Drugs.
Get out of here, Dewey.
What are y'all doing in here?
We're smoking reefer, and you don't want no part of this shit.
And rehab.
I'm hot and cold at the same time!
He needs more blankets and he needs less blankets.
I'm afraid you're right.
It's one of those films that when someone says we never got decent comedies in, say, the noughties, this is one that's often missed off the list. I mentioned it in the opening that I don't consider this a musical comedy film. It's 100% spoof biopic, and it lent heavily into the 2004 Ray Charles biopic with Jamie Foxx and the 2005 Walk the Line that had Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny Cash. They also include elements of multiple other musicians' lives and careers. It plays heavily on the tropes, and maybe that's what caused the critics to dislike it, but it's like Scary Movie in its trope mocking. Like the best spoof movies before it, this works because the cast play it completely straight. It's not over the top in its ridiculousness like Airplane, Top Secret and the like. Not that makes them bad, oh god no, but it just wouldn't necessarily fit with this film. And the great thing with this film is its casting is absolutely amazing. The cast is one of the most stacked casts in a comedy, especially in the era it was made. The film hit right in the middle of a free comedy run for John C Reilly, coming between Talladega Nights a year before and then Step Brothers a year later. Like seriously, those free comedies are absolute pearls. Dewey's band, played by three fantastic actors, two from SNL, Tim, Caleb the Cannibal Meadows, damn Brooklyn Nine-Nine left a mark.
If boners last for more than 4 hours, call more ladies.
Chris Cyril Figures Parnell.
Fuck cats!
And although not another SNL alum, an improv guy who's been in all sorts, Matt Besser.
You don't think we like cheating on our wives too?
Add in a dose of Kristen Wiig.
Did you hear that? I'm Dewey's 12-year-old girlfriend!
A splash of Jenna Fischer.
I heard that doing LSD can awaken your demons.
And your core cast is completed, and all make this film what it is. Then add in the dearth of cameos from real-life musicians.
I don't want to succumb to the temptations.
My girl, oh, my girl, yeah, my girl.
The temptation!
Comedy legends in Harold Ramis, Craig Robinson, and Jane Lynch.
I think you've got what it takes to make it into big time.
And what has to be the greatest depiction of the Beatles.
We're big fans of your records too. We like to think that Hard Day's Night is our guilty as charged.
Okay, not that bit, but the others.
I've got a song about an octopus. Jam it up your ass. You're lucky we still like to play drums.
And who knew Paul Rudd would depict the best version of John Lennon?
Wonder if your songs will still be shit when I'm 64.
The cast are incredible, but it wouldn't be a film without the writing. The writing in Walk Hard is fantastic. The story flows nicely and the dialogue is witty. The way they weave tropes into the story is brilliant. It's not a biopic unless they have trauma and rip a sink out of the wall, is it? Well, how about a bunch? They play with the standards of the genre while also mocking how the genre does certain things. Easiest and best one for me to use is the adult actors for younger versions of themselves, as per a lot of biopics.
Mama, you made it!
There's my favorite 14-year-old son.
I mean, come on, they spent big money on getting Jamie Foxx or Joaquin Phoenix or whoever, they need to give them the screen time. But hearing John C Reilly and Kristen Wiig stating they're 14 and 12, and John C Reilly being at least 20 years and 3 foot taller than his high school band. Can't believe I've taken so long to get to this point. The songs. The songs are so expertly crafted, not only in their era specificity, but also in their lyrics. It brings me back to Top Secret, that skeet shooting song. So era specific, but with a modern twist that makes it ridiculous. That's what this film has in spades. From what I understand too, John C Reilly had a large hand in the song's creations, and he did sing and play guitar for the film. On top of that, he also toured as Dewey Cox in his Cox Across America tour 2007. On that note, a little sidestep here, not from the film or anything, but let's talk about John C Reilly. I mean, apart from being cast in some of the best comedies of the noughties, and some could even be considered of all time, the dude also has that dramatic flair. I mean, having rewatched Talladega Nights and Step Brothers, and his cameo appearance in The Pick of Destiny, his cameo appearance in The Dictator, the small haddocks really love him. Then I was watching Gangs of New York with the eldest, as it's an amazing piece of cinema, and boop, there he is, the legend that he is, John C Reilly. Can we just take a moment to realise that John C Reilly was nominated for a Grammy for this film? So for him, John C Reilly, please don't do another Sherlock and Holmes, as I salute you. On a budget of $35 million, it only recouped $20 million at time of release. Now, I'm sure that number has probably been boosted by DVD and Blu-ray sales, as in the years following, it has become a bit of a cult classic in its own right. I don't know if it was a marketing thing. I mean, one poster is essentially spoofing Jim Morrison's pose, another looks like a Walk the Line poster, and then another makes it look like an Elvis film. It is possible the film got lost in translation when advertising, which happens a lot more than you think. A bad trailer or poster campaign can sink a film like this. Thankfully, it has found a fanbase. With the film spanning nearly 70 years, the eras are easy to follow, mainly down to the costuming and hairstyling. To say they're on point is an understatement. It's not gonna happen, you getting the era wrong with what you're seeing. I think the only one who doesn't change is Dewey's dad, but that's kind of a thematic point. But as well, everyone else has great costumes and hair, which is era appropriate, but also leads to laugh. Just seeing Chris Parnell in a bald cap. Well, there we have it. Another worth the buy. Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox Story. It's not always on streaming, which is a reason alone to own a copy, but add in the bonus features with musical performances, behind the scenes, and the real Dewey Cox featurette. It's worth having in your collection. I've been Lyrin Haddock. Catch you next time.
You could even play together, Cox and Little Nutsack. What a package.